So we are live, and
Hello.
someone just pointed out that I have go to Jackbox TV to join in the description, so I'm deleting that. That should update soon.
Okay.
And oh no no no. Okay, whew. Okay. I almost had us live with my laptop having our audio come out. Sometimes
Oh.
I do that. Like I forget to mute my laptop when I'm watching it for the stream. So
Mhm.
yeah, people are saying he noticed nothing. Okay. So, hello everyone. Welcome to Portal
Hi.
64 or not Portal 64 to the VYTALCast. Obviously, I am rusty on this cuz I haven't done it since pre-RTX, like a week or
Yeah.
two before then.
Mhm.
So, and okay, so everyone say hello to Sunny, or Elephants Are Tasty, however you want to
Hello,
address her.
everyone.
She's our new host for VYTALCast.
Hi.
So,
Sorry, I'm awkward. Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you, David, for being nice to me.
Yeah, I meant to ask during RTX, but I had a lot of stuff on my mind, and then we only saw each other for like a little bit on the first day.
Yeah, like I saw you were hanging out with John, I think.
Yeah, I was tagging along with King of Lame, yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't really have time to hang out with anyone. Like RTX is so busy.
Like, I saw you again at the Ruby panel, but like every time
Mhm.
I tried to say hi as you were walking by with your camera, you didn't notice me, so I was like,
You were
okay.
trying to say hi to me?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Oh,
Like, you
I'm
know how there's
sorry.
like the VIP section and then there's like the
Yeah.
non-VIP? I was in the second row of the non-VIP, and you're walking
Oh.
in between the VIP and the non-VIP,
Mhm.
and you're like doing your vlog. I'm like, "Hi." Oh, okay, she didn't hear me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally would have said hi, but I mean, I guess I was kind of distracted, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, and it was noisy in there.
Yeah, it was noisy.
Yeah, wait. Potato Spoon said David got injected by Senpai? Injected?
What is happening?
What? Oh, message retracted. Okay, maybe they were just like, I wanted to say that to make David feel awkward because he doesn't understand this, and then I'll delete it so then he'll look like a crazy person to the rest of the chat.
Oh my gosh.
And Jeremy, what happened to Aaron? I mean, her name's spelled Arryn. I'm not like being a grammar Nazi or anything like that. I'm just saying that. Oh, you meant to say rejected? Did I get rejected by Senpai? Is that what you're trying to say?
Oh, is that my fault? I don't know what's happening.
No, I don't know. I don't know where the senpai part came from. Um, okay, Inspector who's on my side. He's like, I saw that. I got you. Um, so I mean, I originally wanted to address the Aaron situation at the end of VYTALCast, but I guess I should probably talk about the elephant in the room that Sunny
Boy!
is eating. Um,
I don't eat elephants, okay? I don't know what they taste like.
okay, all right. She just licks them. There, she gets the flavor, but she
Um,
doesn't eat them.
no.
um, so the thing that happened with Aaron, let's rewind to the week of RTX. She and I were working on cosplay together. I was working on John. She was working on Pyrrha. She was kind of training me on how to make cosplay armor, which I did a poor job. I got the armor in my closet as proof. I didn't wear it at RTX because Aaron kept my John hoodie and left it in Arizona. So, uh, yeah, I'm
Cries.
yeah. Luckily, I got my original John hoodie in my closet, so it's like I could still use that. Um, so the night before we left to RTX, so like the Wednesday night, and we were flying on Thursday. Aaron and I, like, I guess I just accidentally like started some sort of disagreement between the two of us. Like that was not my intention at all, but she had decided it'd be best for her to like just not be friends anymore, I guess. Like it was very unclear at the time like what was going on. It was like, crap, are we still friends, are we not friends, like what's going on? So I went through all of RTX with that question in my mind the entire time, and it really kind of sucked. But like once RTX was over and I was back in town, she kind of said like she wants nothing to do with me and to not contact her again, so I don't have her phone number or anything. She blocked me on Twitter when she sent that text. So I can't... It's weird. Twitter can't let you unfollow someone if they blocked you, which is really weird. You think it would just auto unfollow, but it's like I still get Twitter suggestions based off following her, and it's like she blocked me. I can't see anything. I can't even do any of that. And like I'm not gonna say like exactly what happened. It's just I guess there was like a lot of miscommunication, and she accused me of having some like bad behavior, like called me manipulative and abusive, which I always try to be careful with people's feelings and all that. And like this is all stuff I had to tell Sunny like 2 weeks ago. Was it 2 weeks ago? I asked you to be host when?
Maybe.
Yeah, I was like, hey, if you're gonna be the new host, you should probably know what happened to the previous host, and like, you know, like it's okay to like back out whenever you want. Like, you know, I don't know. I still have like a lot of questions in my head, like what the heck happened with the whole situation. Yeah, the details aren't your guys' business. Thank you, Verif. But yeah, yeah, we're gonna continue VYTALCast. I mean, VYTALCast was my baby to begin with.
Yeah.
So Sunny's the new co-host, and you're just like
Thank you, David Senpai.
Yeah, David Senpai.
I'm awkward. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's great. So yeah, like Sunny was like one of our better co-hosts. I don't know. We haven't really had a bad guest on VYTALCast, so
I've only been on like one episode though.
Yeah, but it left a good impression. So
Thank you.
Oh, why Monday? Sunny's fault.
It's my fault.
Okay, you want to explain that?
Sure. So my summer hasn't really been a summer at all. I've had my first job. I've had summer college classes. I've been doing chores for a few of my neighbors around the neighborhood. I've been teaching myself Japanese. I've been doing tons of stuff, so I have a very limited schedule.
Dude, you've been learning Japanese?
Yeah.
That is so cool. Like, you're like, I don't want to watch with subtitles. I can watch it without. Okay,
well,
sorry, continue.
I want to study abroad in Japan anyway, but that's a whole other story.
Goals.
But basically, I work every evening except for Sundays and Mondays, and I guess me and David just kind of decided that Mondays would be a decent like temporary day to do it on, because once I get back to school, then I'll probably be like, it'll be more normal schedule. So I'm sorry guys, it's my fault.
Yeah, so basically until you're back at school, we're Mondays. So yeah, and hi Thunderstorm, I didn't see you at RTX. I looked all around for you, and I did not see you at all, which is weird, because last year I saw you, like, at least 3 times every day. I don't know what happened. I don't know, other than Arnold, I didn't really see anyone that I saw last year. And Arnold, I don't know why.
RTX last year?
Arnold? Or me?
You.
Yeah, I was at RTX last year. Wait, did you go to the reactors panel? Last year? Holy crap, there might be like a group. Were you in the group picture?
I was in the group picture. Yeah, you're in that group picture.
What the heck? Yeah. What the heck? Yeah, I was the guy right next to Arnold. Everyone's like, who's that loser right next to Arnold? And it's like, hey, I'm that loser right next to Arnold. Hold on, let me find that group picture.
I have it like on my Facebook. I'm like the awkward person, like crouching in the ground.
Yeah, because I was just sitting, I was standing next to Arnold, and we had our arms around each other all buddy like.
Aww.
And then like Aaron's right in front of us being a meme. Yeah, wait. Oh my gosh, yeah, you're right next to Aaron. Yeah, what the heck? What the heck? We could have met like a whole year ago. We just didn't. We met via internet. That is so weird.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't know like half the people in that picture.
Oh, dude, I was like on the same. Everyone's like Jack one man band. I'm like Jack who? Yeah, I only knew Arnold, they're like all the panelists, and then
Yeah.
like Erin, it was like I only knew her like 10 minutes prior to that panel, because like she and I met literally like a half hour before that panel and became instant best friends. So
Oh, I see. Thunderstorm said they met me in my Cinder cosplay last year. Thanks.
oh cool. Oh, you didn't go this year, Thunderstorm? I'm sorry. I thought you were, because like you kept saying stuff a few months ago, like how you wanted to see me. Hey, Arnold, we were literally just talking about you
we
at
were
RTX.
About you.
No, we were talking about the group photo of the Reactioners panel last year, because apparently Sunny and I just put 2 to 2 together that we met, could have met a year ago, but we didn't, because we're awkward people in real life. Yeah. Everyone's like, speaking of Arnold. Yeah, so Arnold, I was pretty much saying you're like the only person I met at RTX last year that I saw again at RTX this year. Yeah, everyone else was like all new faces to me, or people that I met via internet and was seen in person for the first time. So anyway, should we talk about that Ruby panel?
What's Ruby? What is this? What are we talking about?
Yeah, we're like a 10 minutes in without any mention of Ruby. I mean, we talked about RTX. That's so the Ruby panel we did. Were you a VIP for that?
No, I'm poor.
Yeah, same here. Okay, it's just you kept walking in between the VIP and the non-VIP, so I didn't know.
I know lots of the VIPs, so I'm friends with like lots of the VIPs, you know.
Okay, so. Do you want to say like your highlights for the Ruby panel, and we could just go from that?
Sure. Highlights for the Ruby panel. I only went to the first one. I didn't get the chance.
You're not supposed to go to the second one if you went to the first one.
Okay.
So you were a good citizen. You were not one of the cinnamon rolls, which is a SIN for sin.
Hey. Anyway, I guess. I don't know, it's hard for me to remember everything. Like, obviously we saw the 2 Ruby Chibi episodes. Those are pretty cute, and there was the question and answer part. But honestly, like, the highlight for me was probably the highlight for most people, which was the Weiss trailer.
Oh, for me it was Genlock. Just kidding. No, yeah, no, it was the Weiss trailer. It was like, Genlock had like a mixed reaction from me. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Also, like, I don't want the animation team to be overworked to death. Like, go easy on them, please, Rooster Teeth. And, like, it's like, I don't know, like, it's pretty amazing we're having Volume 5 happen this year to also add a new IP next year on top of, like, Volume 5 finishing and most likely Volume 6 coming out next year as well. They're keeping up that same year trend stuff.
Yeah, so, like, with I don't know how, like, production companies really work, but with Rooster Teeth, like, it's awesome if they go out and make new shows, but at the same time, it's like you don't want them to be overworked to the point where they have restricted time for each show, so maybe quality would go down. Like, I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But I don't think it will happen.
Yeah, luckily with them switching to Maya, everyone's, like, the animation team is more familiar with Maya than they were with Poser. So, hopefully that will not happen. And... Oh yeah, Verif was like, Genlock is a totally valid highlight. Like, I'm really excited for Genlock. It's just... Yeah. I was just like, what the heck? Like, my mind was blown. And I don't know about you, but I thought it was going to be like a Ruby video game announcement or like a Ruby spin-off announcement.
Yeah, same.
Because it kind of looked like a glowing Grimm mask at first. And it was ooh, girl in armor, glowing Grimm mask. They're like, Genlock, it's a mecha anime we're making. And it's like... Oh, that's not Ruby related. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be Ruby related because we're at the Ruby panel.
Yeah, you're like, what? You're like looking around. You're like, did anyone expect this? I mean, no one expected this. This is the wow.
Yeah, I was very surprised.
Yeah, and then thanks Smash for mentioning Blaze Blue. I keep wanting to say Blaz Blue, but Gray hinted. He hinted that there was something Ruby related happening at the EVO convention, and everyone got super hyped. I was like, what the heck is EVO? And then the person next to me was like, oh, that's a fighting game convention, like they do tournaments. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So yeah,
like when I heard that like hint or announcement or whatever Gray said, and then it was like a fighting game. Like honestly, I expected like Ruby was going to start getting its own fighting game, but like all the hype and then leading up to like Ruby the character just being in a game, it was like kind of mixed reaction for me. I don't even play fighting games, so I'm just like neutral about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's Ruby like in a like guesting in a, what was it? I wanted to say collaboration. I guess a collaboration fighting game. But yeah, Red versus Blue, I'm not even current with right now. They're on like episode 18 or 19. I just looked at my recorded files, and I'm on episode 13. I need to watch 14 onwards. So.
That's funny. I haven't even finished season 2.
Oh, okay. I mean, I can't blame you too much. Like, first 2 seasons could be pretty rough depending on who you are.
No, I really enjoy it. It's just I have so much limited time to like sit down and film and react and edit and upload. So.
Yeah, that's why I'm stuck on episode 13. And like, I think my most recent uploaded reaction was like, hold on, I'm gonna check that. So episode 18 is the newest episode of the current season, Red versus Blue. And then, hey, did you know VYTALCast is live? Yes, I do know. I'm hosting it. Okay, episode 7 was my most recent upload when it comes to reactions. So I am a couple of episodes behind on editing, and then even more further behind on recording and then editing. So yeah, so anyway, Ruby, back to Ruby. Yeah, Blaze Blue, I'm excited for. I'll probably buy it depending on the price. I don't know if I'll get it immediately when it comes out, but that is really cool. And then, are you gonna buy the cereal, the pumpkin Pete cereal?
The cereal. Actually, one of my friends who lives here in Austin too. He's into Rooster Teeth. He went. There's a store at our local mall. It's the FYE store, and they had the cereal there.
Yeah,
for, like,
I think
pre-order.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be an FYE exclusive, I think.
Yeah, like we have an FYE store in our mall, and I was like, hey, I should go there and get some cereal. I might buy it at one point, but
I'm gonna buy it for the lols. I'm gonna buy it for the lols. I was told about the cereal on the day before RTX officially started, so like the day I arrived in Texas, because one of my roommates was a Guardian, and they're like, hey, you're not supposed to know this, but they're having a pumpkin Pete cereal, and I'm so excited.
Boy.
But then also, like, later the same night, we walked past the Austin Convention Center, and you know how, like, the whole wall is, like, all windows? Like, right around where we met the next day.
Yeah, and they had the whole big
They had the whole big banner sign, and it's like, oh, there it is. And then they, like, try to act like it was a big surprise at the Ruby panel. We're like, no, you just had giant signs for no reason.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, oh, modern camera guy works at the FYE. Oh, wait, no. He doesn't work at FYE. He works at the mall, if I'm understanding that right. He works at the mall, and there's an FYE at same mall.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, I for some reason took that as, oh yeah, I work at the FYE at my mall. No, that'd be pretty cool.
Cereal.
The FYE at my mall, it's overpriced. Like, the thing for...
Overpriced.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just FYE. I'm like, eh. We used to have an FYE superstore that was awesome, but then it got turned into a Babies R Us, so that's awkward.
I don't know, do we want to talk more about the Weiss short or anything
we haven't even touched on the white short.
No, we haven't.
Weiss short. I said white. But, oh, man, I'm really excited. That was, like, pre-Volume 1, I think. Because Weiss didn't even have her scar. Yeah. Because at first...
it was before the original White trailer.
Yeah. I originally, like, you know, first impression was like, oh, maybe this is in between Volumes 3 and 4. Because she was wearing her original outfit, but then she's not having her scar. So it's like, oh, this pre-White trailer even. So it was really cool. And there were some things I saw people commenting on, like when it, like, flashed forward to Weiss waking up in the plane, that it looks like she wasn't with the cargo, but she was, like, actually in a passenger seat. And the thing Winter said right before is like, you need to get stronger if you want to escape this place.
Mm-hmm.
So part of me makes me wonder, like, there's a few things I could see happening. One, she was discovered in the cargo and they just upgraded her to a normal seat, like any human being should. Or she was caught by her father or like some people of his, and she's being brought back to Atlas. So
She didn't look totally distressed like she was being brought back, though. I don't know.
yeah, no, like I said, I don't think it's concrete. I think it's just she was in a normal seat for once, or maybe they just forgot how the window looked in the cargo area and changed it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I really liked that trailer because it took me a minute to realize it was a flashback. And Brian from Rooster Teeth, I talked to him on the show floor, and he was like, "Yeah, we didn't realize so many people like wouldn't know this was a flashback. Like we didn't have the scar, but then at the end of the short, they started playing Mirror Mirror, and I was like, oh, obviously this is leading up to everything else, so obviously it's a flashback." But I really, really liked the animation and the detail in that short.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, it looked really good, and it also makes me miss the old costumes, especially seeing how good.
Kind of.
Because it really looked like Maya for me had like a huge visual change, but it almost felt like he was like back in Poser with that trailer, just because she was in the new outfit.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. It just had more of a classic Ruby feel to me. But yeah, anyway. So Inspector Who says it didn't look like a new spot. I'll need to rewatch it and rewatch the Volume 4 finale because I could be wrong. I just remember seeing someone comment that, so I was just speaking out loud on what those comments were. But oh man, it was really good. And I think Jeff Williams said that was like a 0.5 version of Mirror Mirror.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was a new version of Mirror Mirror. And someone asked him, like, hey, is this Mirror Mirror Part 3 or technically Part 4? Because there's This Life Is Mine as Part 3. And he said, think of it as more as a 0.5 Mirror Mirror. So,
okay, that makes some sort of sense.
Yeah, so I think they had it written for, like, you know, like, hey, here's Weiss before the white trailer, so we're going to have a Mirror Mirror before the white trailer. So.
Yeah.
And you and I were talking about this right before we went live, but they said there's going to be Blake's and Yang's before Volume 5.
Yay!
And we predict that Blake will be in August, and then Yang in September? Is that what we predicted?
Yeah, it would just make sense to have one each month, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, yeah. It makes sense, because then in October, that's when Volume 5 comes out.
Yeah, October 14th. I'm so excited.
Yeah, and Smash just asked, This Life Is Mine doesn't count, does it? And it does, because it's a Weiss song. Like, from my perspective, it counts. Because, like, even, it's... No, not It's My Turn. I was just thinking of Mirror Mirror Part 2. But it is kind of a continuation, and it's more of... She does sing about the mirror in This Life Is Mine, but it was more like... We're going away from the mirror, because, like, we're not going to depend on all that, so...
Yeah, I don't know. I like to think of it as, like, if you put them all together, it's just the saga and the storytelling of her emotions, and she's just talking to the mirror throughout, but then, like, by the end of This Life Is Mine, she's like, okay, we're done with this. We're moving on.
She just picked it up and chucked it out the window to escape. And also, like, even though hers was more of a combat-based one, I think Gray said that not all the character shorts are going to be action-based.
Yes, that is correct.
So, do you think it'll be Blake's or Yang's that are not? Or maybe both, even?
I've tried thinking about that. Honestly, I can't, like, make a great theory because I'd have to know, like, what the timeline would be. Like, Ruby's was in between 3 and 4. Weiss's is before everything. So unless I know kind of where the other two are going to fit in the timeline, I can't really guess. But if I had to guess, I would say, I'd say Yang's wouldn't be. I don't know, it's just hard for me because I wanted to say Blake, but then Blake had kind of like a violent past, so it'd probably be more likely to feature fighting, but I'd really like to see one without Blake fighting. It's just complicated.
Yeah. I mean, technically, Weiss's trailer was both before and after everything because
Well,
she
yeah.
was dreaming of a flashback, and I think it would make more sense in context for the trailers to be in between Volume 4 and 5. And
Yeah.
I could honestly see Blake's or Yang's having action because there could be Ilya coming back into the picture. Like
Oh
Blake
yeah,
finds
Ilya
Ilya,
exists.
and maybe a fight breaks out, or maybe it's just talking conversation between her and Sun and her parents. Or with Yang, I could see her practicing more fighting with her arm and stuff, and like getting more back into the groove. Or her traveling and trying, like asking around for Ruby, trying to find stuff.
Maybe. Oh, sorry to interrupt, but yeah, Arnold, I'm wearing my favorite shirt. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, no, that was literally what I was about to mention. I was like, hey, Arnold likes her shirt. Um, so, those are just the two possibilities that I see. If they
Yeah.
were to happen in between the two volumes, was either Yang traveling around asking for Ruby, like trying to find clues to where she is. Well, she knows she's going to Mistral, so I guess she doesn't need to find clues. But
Yeah,
just
like
her.
isn't where Volume 4 left off, like the last episode, like she was headed right for him, like she's almost there,
Oh yeah,
right?
oh yeah, yeah. She was right on the trail, and from what we were told after Volume 4, that like Volume 4 wasn't all linear, like not everyone's stuff was happening at the same time.
Yeah.
So like I think if I'm remembering correctly, a lot of people were saying Yang's stuff happened more in the earlier, and she left home more in the earlier part of like the year or 6 months that Volume 4 was. And then at the very end, when it was showing her right on Ruby, Team Ranger's tail, was because she had just finally caught up to all their traveling throughout the entire time.
Yeah, that would make sense because it took Ranger like a long time to get to where they were, but I guess if Yang had her motorcycle, then she'd be able to travel much faster and catch up to them. Like, it just seems logical, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, I just got like a shout out on Twitter. They're saying like, "Hey, please follow David and follow him."
Nice. Who was it?
His name's Kenjia Sen. And then in parentheses says like TRLL, writer of Black Rose Garden. Why does that sound like a Ruby fanfic?
I don't know. I haven't heard of that person.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you to whoever that is. I'll show their little Twitter in my web camera. Whoever this is, thanks for the shout out. Anyway, okay, let's see. Murderer Bird said they left the Chronicles of Volume 4 ambiguous to avoid plot holes, so it's all conjecture. Yeah, so
Yeah.
nothing's too like canon. It's just like what I said with about Yang. That's just what people are thinking logically, because like if Ranger took several months, it wouldn't take Yang a day, even with the motorcycle. So
Yeah, and honestly, I don't have that much problem with the confused timeline of Volume 4. Like, it just happens throughout some series of time after Volume 3. Like, I'm not that picky about knowing exactly what happens when.
yeah, for me, I think it's just like extra outside of the show stuff to think about if you're one of those people who like to do theories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which I'm not a huge theorist.
Me neither.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
I have
really
my...
bad at it.
I actually do have a theory video in the works, and when I say in the works, I mean I have it all recorded. I just need to get footage from volumes 1 through 3 to show in it. So...
Okay.
Oh,
I'll look for that.
Hunt SD says he has some problems with Weiss, though.
Hey, what are your problems with
But
Weiss?
his picture is Weiss, so it's like, dude, what do you have against
Yeah,
Weiss? It's like, wait, he's like, I don't think Blake has the courage to kill Adam. Well, I don't think she's gonna kill Adam. Killing sounds very much against Blake's character, especially with how she's trying to develop and like wanting the White Fang to go like help change the white thing from being violent to non-violent. I just don't think killing would ever be her thing. Like, I could see her wanting to capture him and imprison him and have him, have justice, but I don't think her form of justice would be in the form of killing Adam, as much as we would love to see that. If anything, I could see it being Yang killing Adam.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
Yeah, like breaking his back like Bane and chucking him off a cliff.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Okay, so Hunter D saying just her staying in her room and out of touch for 6 months seems a little off. Well, she was kind of kept prisoner by her patriarchal father, and
yeah, it's not like she could just like wander off and just go wherever she wants, kind of.
Yeah, and I think the character trailer we had of Weiss is a very good example of that, because Winter says if you want to escape, you have to be stronger, and the whole volume was her getting stronger and like, hey, I'm finally having the strength, not just combat wise, but also just like character of who she is and like her heart.
Standing up to her dad.
Yeah, and also as we were discussing with like volume 4 kind of being ambiguous with what happened when, we don't know exactly how long she was kept at her house and when she finally escaped and such. So yeah. It might have not been 6 months. It could have been 6 months. It could have been the entire time. We don't really know, but also it's not something that's going to be answered in show and probably never outside of show. So I say don't sweat about it. You know,
yeah,
she's
I
out now.
Worry about the time, really.
She's free now. Like, we all develop in our own time. You know, some people take a little while, and sometimes it doesn't. So yeah.
The only thing that I really would want or desire a timeline for is to know exactly when the characters like have a birthday or when they get a year older, because it's like I want to know exactly what age a character is. Honestly, I don't know why.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, you mentioning age of characters just made me like facepalm, because it reminded me of one of the last things I saw on Tumblr. Like people were people shipping themselves with like Ruby and stuff. Or like, you know, like they're like, I'm 23. It's like, you know, she's like 15, right? Like she's a minor. Like, guys, no. And that's just when I logged off of Tumblr indefinitely. I was just like, oh, goodbye. She is now 16, if I remember correctly. Yeah, but she's still a minor, so 15, 16, you know, if you're an adult of any gender, that is still pedophilia. But yeah, no, I believe she is 16 in Volume 4, though.
Yeah.
So, I think hers is the only age that we know of in Volume 4, for sure. We know she's 16. Everyone else, we don't know if they're still 17 or turned 18.
Yeah, it would just depend on, like, when their birthdays are in the calendar year of Remnant, but I don't think we're gonna get, like, that detailed. Like, they might just, like, if someone asks it, at some point the developers might just say, like, oh yeah, they're, like, 18, 19 now. Like, I don't think they'll put that much importance on it. I don't know.
Yeah, okay, so actually you just reminded me of like one of the coolest things I ever had of Naruto. And sorry, you're like, what does Naruto have to do about this? So when I got into Naruto, so every year for Christmas my mom buys us calendars, and I got a Naruto calendar one year, and on the calendar, on the days, it would say if it was a character's birthday. So
that's adorable.
October 10th, I believe, is actually Naruto's birthday. And it'd be like, dude, what did they have, a Ruby calendar? And they did the same thing. Like, they had the characters' like birthdays on the calendar. But then also there was like, I think it might have been Bleach. I have like a book that has like all the character information and series information. But even like, oh wait, no, it was still a Naruto thing, but it was inside a video game. But it had like their blood type even. I don't know why Japan's obsessed with like knowing characters' blood type, but it'd be really cool for Ruby to have like a source of information like that that's not Wikipedia, like, you know, something you could buy and physically hold.
Like lots of animes, they have like info books with specific information about characters.
Yeah, and it would be a huge help, and it'd be, I wouldn't mind them mixing it with a concept art book, because Ruby has a lot of amazing concept art. It's just, please sell it in a book form. Like, we will spend our money.
Yeah.
Which, at the Ladies of RT Animation panel, Kim, I believe it was Kim, might have been either Kim, Aaron, or Yisa, but they said, hey, if you want a concept art book, please let your demands be known, because demands being known is kind of important for getting new merch. So, hey guys, if you want a good merch idea, you have to let RT know and get a lot of people to be like, hey, we would like the same.
I would totally buy a concept art book, just saying.
Yeah, and Huntus D also said he wants information like in the different cultures of Remnant and maybe other religions. I think World of Remnant episodes are very good for that. But also have it in book form would be nice too.
Yeah, and also they talked about at the Ruby panel, like someone asked, are there any other languages? And they were just kind of like, that would be awesome, but we don't have time to develop and like explore a whole other language in the show. So I think it might be kind of that way with religions and cultures, unless it's actually relevant to the story. Like, we got the World of Remnants on all the different continents or kingdoms, excuse me, and like it went into their cultures. Pretty much same thing in their world. But like I don't think they would have a lot of time to develop whole new subsets of cultures and religions and languages unless it was specifically relevant to the plot.
And we know it's been hinted that there are religions set around the Four Maidens and some of the fairy tales, and we even saw like proof of that in the Ruby character short last year, because the church building she was smashed into by the Gorilla Grimm had like the Four Maiden statues in front of it. And one of them,
it had a rose window, which is characteristic of religious architecture. Sorry.
Yes, it is. Yeah, Inspector Hussein screams in question. Yeah, and
screams.
It would just be really cool to have like more outside of the information. Like, it doesn't even have to be like Miles and Carrie who put it together. Maybe they'd like whatever the person writes, so they hire someone that's been working with Ruby and stuff. Or maybe it's a fan who's like very good at fan art, fan fiction, not fan art. And they're like, hey, like, you write this. This is like the basics of what we would like you to write. Just kind of like expand on that in your own words, and then we'll okay it or tell you what to fix before we could publish this. So, I think the only downside to it is that they could accidentally contradict canon.
Yeah.
Which happens in a lot of series. So, like, Harry Potter contradicted its own canon a few times. A lot of shows. Like, I was on a date on Thursday, and that was actually a topic we talked about, was like...
Oh, boy!
Yeah. It's nothing to be worked out. It was someone like a coworker was trying to get me to meet for months, and it was like, well, after RTX, fine. But... we talked about how, like, Token was one of the only authors to ever achieve never contradicting canon in their series within their lifetime. And Token has, like, books and books and books about Middle-earth. And so there's, like, Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and the Silmarillion, I think it's called. But that's, like, multiple, like, short tales of histories throughout Middle-earth. And none of it contradicts any of it. So,
that's just he must. That's just amazing, honestly.
Yeah, and he even like published like the Elvish and Dwarvish languages too. So he did a lot of work on Middle Earth alone, and that's not like his only works. So, that's like the only downside I could possibly see, is like them accidentally, like if they went into a certain religion or myth in the book and then later brought it up in like volume 8 or something, they might say something contradictory to the book in volume 8, because like, oh well, actually this important detail is important to the plot, but we didn't mention it in the book because it was going to be important to the plot in volume 8. So who really knows?
That's complicated stuff.
Oh yeah, okay, so Seeker 3218 just said, and don't forget the manga that had the original side story introducing a new Grimm. Maybe not as new, but yeah, that is also a really good example of like extended lore. And like, who knows, like, I need, if someone could like give me that Ruby manga, like, I don't know where to order it, like someone point me in the direction to get it. I want it, I just don't know where.
Yeah, I would want it too, but I'm still poor.
Yeah. Also, like, we have our Twitter handles up on the screen, so if you want to tweet at us a link to a store or something, thanks.
It says my Twitter handle is my username for the RT site.
Yeah, I just noticed that. I could try to fix that. It's okay. Wait, hold on. Let's see if I could fix that. Properties. And oh.
Such professionalism.
Yes, very professional. Watch it. Oh, watching. Come on. Wait. Okay, OBS likes to be jumpy a bit, so there. It's a little out of alignment. There you go. Well, with the manga, Miles said that it's canon until it's not. Okay, that's really good to know. It's also just really funny because it's like reverse of what most anime do. Like Full Metal Alchemist, for example. You're familiar with what happened with the original Full Metal Alchemist?
Yes, somewhat.
The anime, at least, they like ran out of content for the anime through the manga, and they just... Oh, hold on. I am trying to fix mistakes, and it is not working.
It's okay, but I kind of get that whole, like, things with, like, animes versus manga. Like, you have to write the manga first, and then you can develop the anime, if you're making an anime based off of manga. So it's like, of course, I have to bring up...
reverse that.
Yeah, but it's like, I have to, it's my duty. I have to bring up Hunter x Hunter, because like the mangaka, he takes so many hiatuses, and then like the 2011 anime, it just basically got to the end of the manga as I understand it, and he's been writing more, but it's like they had to find a place to end the anime, and it's so sad.
Which show was this?
Hunter x Hunter, which I told you to watch.
Okay. Sorry, I got distracted by a seeker saying, did you guys know about the Ruby novel and the manga anthology in Japan? I did know about the manga. I did not know about the novel, however. The novel, that's all news to me. The manga, as far as I know, we learn more about like what happens in the White trailer, in that Weiss's father sent the knight after her, like he hired the knight to attack her or whatever. And then I know it goes more into like story stuff in between volumes 1 and 2, from what I believe.
Yes, I think so.
Yes. And then okay, Naxo says, now as far as for a fan to be the one who write it, that would be cool, but no idea who would do it, and whoever it is, Rooster Teeth should keep informed 24/7. Yeah, exactly. Like, it'll be kind of like what Rooster Teeth always says. Like, if you're a creative person in our community, we will notice you, and they do oftentimes take you in. Like, actually, they just announced something about that during the Ruby panel, that like 2 people in the community is now hired by Rooster Teeth.
I mean, that's basically how, like, Matt and Jeremy got hired a few years ago.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, Mojo. Mojo,
of course.
Yeah, I follow him on Twitter. There's, like, a manga anthology with 2 volumes so far. Awesome. Okay, Seeker, thank you so much. And if you could, like, tweet us a link, that'll be awesome, and we could talk about more, in more detail next week. Yeah, and Dishwasher. Yeah, I wanted to say it was Dishwasher. I just couldn't remember correctly if it was that or not. But yeah, they're both really great fan artists, and to hear that they're actually working for Rooster Teeth now is just amazing.
It is. Those people are amazing.
Have you seen like what Mojojo has been doing this summer on his Twitter?
The swimsuit pictures?
Yeah, the swimsuit
I've
pictures.
seen them.
Yeah, it's so awesome. Oh, you want? Okay, so Verif says he wants to see like Grimm Eclipse and Merlotte mention this series. Oh, like the villain
Yeah,
Merlotte and Grimm Eclipse. That would be cool.
that
Um,
would be.
I don't know where they could fit it in the story as of right now because they're kind of busy with Salem and all that. Unless
Yeah.
Salem could get a hold of Merlotte and break him out of prison or whatever. So,
Yeah, but it's like at the same time, like not having all the stuff from Grim Eclipse in the series doesn't bother me, but at the same time, it's like they just never talk about it. Like, do these people never talk about any significant missions they went on? Like, based on the game, it looked pretty significant, so I thought there'd be a mention of it, but you can't have something like that in the show because not everyone has experienced it, I think.
mm-hmm.
So it would be like it has to like as the show exists, like standing alone by itself, you have to understand it. So if they just bring in outside references from the game, then it wouldn't really make sense to everyone.
Yeah. I mean, the game is canon according
Yeah.
to Hunt SD, and from what I remember hearing. And Verif was saying like they could just do something small, like include Merlotte's logo somewhere in the background or something. So, like, I guess not so much as it like including it in the current story or anything, but just like having a small reference to it, or
Yeah.
maybe someone mentioning a scientist that like did experiments on Grimm and stuff like that. So,
And in the chat, people are saying the guy who made the charcoal trailer, the
oh yeah,
Meridian
Mark.
trailer, Mark, he's awesome. I love his videos.
Yeah, doesn't he work for Screw Attack? Or did?
I have no idea.
Okay, I remember someone saying he worked for Screw Attack, but he's working with Rooster Teeth in some capacity right now. So, but yeah, it's I don't know, it's just really great to see that, and like gives me hope. One day of maybe working in Achievement Hunter, but I need to like get back to cramming on streaming and editing stuff.
Yeah, like whenever I see people like from the community rise up and be really successful and like get into Rooster Teeth, the company itself, like I'm really happy for them, but at the same time I'm like, I can't do any of this awesome creative stuff. I can't draw, I can't animate, I can't write very well, so it's like I'm so jealous of them,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, and like Erin, like I originally thought if anything I'd have to announce her leaving VYTALCast because she had graduated SCAD and got hired by Rooster Teeth to work as an animator and be like, hey guys, she legally can't talk about Ruby anymore in case of like accidentally spoiling it, so she had
Yeah.
to leave. Which it'd still be really cool if she does get hired one day, but yeah, it's just really great to see like people in the community being hired. I could see Arnold being hired since Rooster Teeth like knows him so well already, and like he's probably like, oh no, they would never do that. But like you never know, like they might put him in. Like I could easily see him in fan service, being included on that.
That would be awesome.
Fan service and the No, I could definitely see him working in. So, like he just knows a lot about anime, and he keeps up with announcements like really well. So it's like
He does.
so it's like okay, well the No would be perfect for him. He could be up on there with like Ashley and Mika and be talking about Kingdom Hearts and stuff like that. Like he would fit right in with them.
Yeah, he would.
So, we got about 12 minutes left. Do you have any more notes for discussions?
I mean, we talked about most of this. The only thing that's pretty much left is I watched, I was going on YouTube this morning and looking for people's videos of, like, Ruby recaps from RTX or Anime Expo or whatever, and I saw there was, like, someone was talking about a theory about Ruby's semblance. I don't know if you want me to talk about that.
Oh yeah, you can talk about that.
Okay, I can't remember the username of the person who made this video, but if you guys have seen the video, you can tell us in the chat. But he said that at the Ruby RTX panel, they basically said Ruby has some type of PTSD related feelings and emotions and experiences after the fall of Beacon and seeing Pyrrha die. And he was talking about how abilities, semblance, or aura can be related to emotions, and he kind of theorized how if Ruby was experiencing all these new heightened emotions, then that could possibly explain, at least partially, the new abilities she uses with her semblance, especially in her character short before Volume 4. Like, she can
Yeah, how she
split
was
up
like
and do all
basically
these cool things.
pinballed around the air.
Yeah, so that could partially explain how she was able to make these new abilities. Obviously, if she's out in the wilderness fighting, then she'd get stronger and grow her abilities anyway, but they were basically theorizing that like her new emotions would grant her new power, and also not just with her semblance, but maybe with the silver eyes. And I don't know, that's about it.
Yeah, I think Silver Eyes, she has quite a lot to like learn and develop.
Yes.
And I'm hoping that there's like some organization that specializes in training Silver Eyed warriors. But I think from what Erin told me in the last VYTALcast, or one of the last VYTALcasts she was in, she said that somewhere Miles or Carrie, or maybe even Gray, like specified that it was or like in volume 4 Crow even specified that Ruby's semblance is turning into rose petals. Like her semblance is speed, but like to more like accurately describe it, it's speed with the mix of turning into rose petals. Which is why she's able to like split up and do that other stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, gee, thanks. If you guys could explain that better from the get-go, that would have created less confusion.
I'm wondering what it feels like for Ruby to like split up her like self into those 3 like rose petal things that she used in the character short. Like, what does that feel like? What is that experience?
Yeah, someone just made a really mean PTSD joke about Ruby. I mean, not mean, but they're like, maybe she'll like have the power to hallucinate, which is like, not funny. But then also there's like, not offended by it, but there's also Inspector who said like, do you think Weiss could use her semblance without her sword? And I believe she could. She just kind of uses the sword as kind of an extension of pointing the ways, kind of like in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
They're like, humans could use magic, they just use a wand to channel it better. So
yeah, and I mean there have been instances of like Weiss making hand motions and her semblance appears or activates, but I mean she does seem to be most proficient with her abilities when she has her weapon.
Okay, Hunt SD said they meant to write that better. I think they. Hold on, I'm like reading a whole bunch of other stuff, like, and mixing up comments now. This word is the catalyst for powers. Maybe I'll have to like Google catalyst because I forgot what that means.
Well, catalyst is like something that makes something easier, makes something go faster. Like in chemical reactions, if you put in a catalyst, the reaction goes faster.
Yeah, basically I think so. Because she does know how to channel like dust through it, and we do know she could mix dust with her glyphs to like do the gravity, and then there's ice and speed. So
yeah,
I think in a way yes, but she doesn't need her sword in any way to make a glyph, so to say. And see ya, Nora Valkyrie. Thank you so much for always showing up to my streams and stuff. So yeah, so I think. Okay, so Hunt SD said like Crow described the rose petals as a trait, just like how Crow can turn into a crow. So maybe I don't know how to process that right now. Like maybe it's like a secondary trait. So like her semblance is speed. The rose petals is a secondary trait that isn't so much the semblance, but just a trait of it. And...
yeah, and I mean it could be like, I don't, what's the word I'm searching for? Beneficial or like useful. Like they could be used to distract enemies. I don't know how the whole rose petal thing really works. They haven't really explained that a lot, but I mean it could be useful and it looks nice.
Yeah. Honestly, I think they should avoid going too into detail like what the rose petals are or like semblances, because they'll make the Phantom Menace mistake with the Force. On like the Metachlorians and da-da-da-da. and then everyone's just like, ugh. Like I think we should just leave it as a magical mystical power that we shall forever not know. Yeah, and then someone Zverev said he's still waiting for a character to like have dust integrated into their body, like what was mentioned in World of Revenant Volume 2. That'll be very, very cool. And they said, don't use... Oh, metachlorians, yeah. They said, don't say the M word. I'm like, what M word? I'm like, oh yeah, metachlorians. Sorry, I've said it twice now. Anyway, I talk a lot. Any other thoughts you have, Sunny?
I don't know. Not really. That's basically all the notes I had. We covered pretty much everything. So that's about it for my ideas.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty much out of stuff to talk about for now, too. Until next week, at least, and I catch up on Ruby Chibi, and then we could talk Ruby Chibi stuff. So.
Ooh, can I ask a question? Like, you were telling me, maybe doing something cosplay related. Can I ask?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, me and David were talking about, different things we could put in VYTALCast episodes, and
I don't know,
you should
remind me of something else, but keep going.
What, sorry?
No, keep going.
Oh, okay, but, I don't know, one of his suggestions was something to do with cosplay, so, like, I had the idea of, like, we could be in a cosplay, like, while we do the episode, or, I don't know, people could show us their cosplays. I don't know what you exactly had in mind, but...
I think I had more of, like, people showing us their cosplay, and we could...
Yeah.
Kind of like how I do the fan art of the week, like, I'll include cosplay with the fan art of the week. So, like,
okay.
one day it might be something someone drew, or it might be someone's, like, stuff. But if you're doing cosplay or like trying to submit a cosplay, I would rather actually have you guys being being the ones, like, if you're submitting a cosplay picture, it's you in the picture, not like, hey, here's Jessica Negri in some Ruby cosplay or something, you know, like, don't take someone else's picture and include it, submit it, because I'll just avoid doing that. But if I end up showing someone else's cosplay picture thinking it was submitted by themselves, and then they watch this or like find out, they're like, hey, you didn't have my permission, I'm like, holy crap, this was submitted by someone else. Like, anyway,
But anyway, I just wanted to ask if, like, people would be interested in that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or, like, show us your cosplays. I want to see them.
Yeah, and as far as, like, fan art and cosplay goes, I want to do, like, a thing with it. Like, have each month we do, like, a theme for the fan art. And, like, like, mainly, like, crossover themes. Like, hey, on this month, we'll do Ruby X Pokemon or Ruby X Halo or something, and then like you guys can make your fan art and submit it to us on Twitter, and then we could show it on VYTALCast and give you a big shout out and all that. So
yeah, I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, okay. How do we send fan art to you guys? Well, we have our Twitter handles on there, and then well, Sunny's RT
Twitter's
site name
there.
is not on there yet. But you could either send it to me through the RT site or Ruby Amino or Twitter. Twitter is like the easiest thing. Just like tag us in it. Don't inbox us. Just tweet at us, and that's how you will do it. And AC Gears and Arms, no worries. And Ruby X Star Wars, that is definitely on the list. That is definitely on.
That would be rad.
So we'll start talking about it. I just know, like, December and October will probably be forever Halloween and Christmas themed. But
oh yeah.
Ruby X Red versus Blue, hashtag also like Ruby X Halo, pretty much the same thing. But I guess like Ruby characters meeting the Reds and Blues would be pretty cool. So you'll be busy for the night. I'll see everyone next week. However, all right. See you, Genji. Oh yeah, and Camp. That'd be another great crossover. So. Yeah, if you guys want to submit ideas for crossovers, include that as well. And we'll also, like, shout out to you, be like, hey, this month's theme brought to you by so-and-so. So, yeah, we'll do that. And I'm actually thinking of doing a similar shout-out thing, but with my Patreon. I need to rework my Patreon on how I want to do stuff, so. Anyway, I think that's it for this week. You good on stuff?
Yeah, but real quick, I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Yeah.
It's my job. If anyone knows of any Ruby or Hunter x Hunter art, or if you make any, please show me. I will love you.
Yeah, we'll have that be one of the themes too. That'd be good.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have to mention it. It's my job.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. See you guys next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.